Mahabaleshwara MS, MD and CEO at Karnataka Bank. Mr. Mahabaleshwara, thanks so much for joining. It's morning firstly. While it has been your highest ever quarterly profit in absolute terms, a large part of your profit growth, I understand, was supported by lower provisioning and efficiencies as well. And NIMs also have been under pressure. What would you say led to this kind of mixed performance for you?
No, see, this is in accordance with our plan in the sense we have been focusing on our credit portfolio. So we have been able to get about 24% plus growth in the credit sector. And as a result, now we are having the highest ever CD ratio of around 76.10%. In fact, it was way back in the year 1948, wherein we had 80% CD ratio. Thereafter, we had not reached this level. So that was one of the major reasons for our improved performance. Of course, this is, as you have already pointed out, this is our highest ever quarterly profit. I would attribute it for the growth numbers as well as some moderation in the NPAs. If you look into the NPA numbers, the provisioning last quarter, corresponding quarter, we had made 196.59 crores, wherein it has come down to 193.78 crores. So most important thing is NII has gone up by 10.40%, and our operating profit has also gone up by 19.11%. So as a result, we have been able to come out with net profit of around 163.24 crores with a growth rate of 21.96%.
Your NIMs as well has seen a sequential decline at 3% versus 3.5% last quarter. Do you think next quarter you'll manage to beat the previous quarter's performance? Will you be able to exceed 3.5% or at least match up?
3% is what we have been aiming, 3% plus. Last time, yes, it was one-off quarter because there was one-off interest income on income tax of around 93 crores. That was the reason for 3.54% NIM what we had. But if you look at the June 17 numbers, it was a 2.97% NIM, and it has gone up to 3% during the current quarter. So I am optimistic of maintaining 3% plus NIM for the time being.
What kind of treasury policy you followed? Reserve Bank of India has given banks to take their treasury losses and divide it by 4. So how much of your total treasury loss you've already accounted for in the last quarter and this quarter, and how much is left?
Yeah, there was a provision for amortization of the MTM losses. So over a period of 4 quarters. So we have taken it forward about 40 crores for the remaining 3 quarters. So the first quarter we have observed around 16 crores or so. So we have utilized that particular provision. So MTM losses is amortized for the rest of the quarters. And our ID investment portfolio has come down because as I said, the CD ratio has gone up, and that has acted as a blessing in disguise for us. Our MTM losses have already, because in the Q4 of the last year also it had come down, and it has seen the same traction during the current quarter as well. So ID ratio has come down and CD ratio has gone up.
And so what can you commit to in terms of the kind of asset quality? While asset quality numbers have come down, your gross NPAs, your net NPAs, how much more further to go? What are the targets there?
Yeah, see, credit cost has been at 0.41%. During the last year corresponding quarter, it was at 0.51, and previous quarter ended March 2018, it was the highest at 1.25. So our aim is to contain the credit cost to around 0.5%. That is the first goal. The second one is GNPA and NNPA numbers. So we are now at 4.72% GNPA is concerned. June 17 we had a GNPA at 4.34. But if you look at the previous quarter, that is March 2018, it was at 4.92. So compared to 1 year back number, it has slightly gone up, but sequentially from 4.92 to 4.72%. So that is the traction in the GNPA. But as far as NNPA is concerned, about a year back, it was at 3.20%. Now we are at 2.92%. And about the previous quarter, that is the sequential, March 2018, it was at 2.96. So as far as NNPA is concerned, as far as compared to the previous quarter, as well as an year ago period, it has come down. So our intention is to have around 4% to contain the NNPA to around 2% and to GNPA at around 4%. But a lot of external issues are also there because India is heading for the election year next year. So we don't know what are all the other issues that would crop up. But internally, it seems my portfolio is behaving as per our expectation, and the stress is easing out. It has started that type of symptom about 3 months back itself. So I think we will be able to manage it around 4% and 2% approximately.
Okay. We wish you the very best for that, Mr. Mahabaleshwara. Thanks very much for joining us.